How are you guys?
I'm good, buddy.
Amazing.
By the way, I just want to let you guys know that I am not going to let the fact that Canada beat the U.S. in the Four Nations Championship affect this chat. I'm just throwing that out there.
You're in Florida. Do you actually care about hockey?
Can you just let us have that? We don't have much where we come from, so can we just maybe have one thing?
Yes, you can have it. And Andrew, I'm Canadian, so yes, I care about hockey. And we have a great hockey team here. So you guys were in the arena. What was the atmosphere like? Because obviously the championship was played in the U.S., Canada wins, and there's so much political bullshit going on. What was the atmosphere like?
It was pretty crazy, honestly. Being around a bunch of American fans, they were kind of booing us and stuff, but everybody was respectful. I think it was more so just a Boston thing because the Boston fans are very intense, and there's obviously the rivalry with the Celtics. The Bruins, the heat's getting to me right now.
Go Canada, baby. What was very awkward, the most difficult part about it all, is that we actually were booked to DJ the official after party for it that Sports Illustrated was throwing, right? So no matter who won, whether it was Canada or the U.S., we had to play it. So obviously we're playing Happy as a Clam, and the crowd is half not into it because their team, their country, just got embarrassed by Canada. So there was definitely a part of us that after we left the venue, we're might have been better for business if the U.S. won.
Well, I'm glad you guys made it out okay. Andrew, Joe, Loud Luxury, welcome back to America's Dance 30.
Thanks for having us as always.
Thank you, buddy.
Congratulations on Crash going #1. That is so amazing for you guys.
Baby.
Hell yeah. Thank you so much. It's been awesome to put out. It feels really special. And honestly, it's definitely, I think, what people like most about Loud Luxury encapsulated in the song.
Yeah, it is such a feel-good song. I am super stoked to talk about it, especially since I saw who helped write it and who's singing on it. But before we talk all about Crash, you guys just recently did a show in a cave in Punta Cana. What was the sound like in a cave?
Terrible.
It's pretty interesting, honestly. It was pretty crazy. We played a couple caves, but that one is something else. It's actually really big, very deceivingly big. It's got layers to it, and it was a white party, so everybody was dressed in white, spilling drinks on themselves, and it got pretty messy, honestly.
I've never listened back to videos, because obviously we love to post a lot of videos that we have from any show. I've never had videos come back where the audio quality has been so bad that we literally had to just basically layer it with the actual track in iMovie. Because if you listen to the actual just raw audio, it just sounds like you're in a cathedral. It's so echoey. It's a trip to listen to because it feels like you're hearing everything 2 seconds later than everyone else is hearing it.
So do you guys have to completely play out of monitors and not listen to what's going on inside the cave?
Oh, yeah.
I'm one of the rare ones. I go the Steve Angelo approach, but I don't actually use headphones when we're DJing because most of the time I know all the songs anyways, and I get these little moments when we're playing where I just know songs kind of go together from our USBs, so I don't actually use headphones. But we had literally 60 people on stage, so they were all blocking the monitors. So yeah, I don't know how much I love that.
No drinks spilled, no train wrecks. We walked out of there feeling like we just emerged from a car crash, being I can't believe I'm alive right now.
I gotta tell you, just watching the video with all the people so close to you, my anxiety was out of control.
I know. I know.
We're trying it out. We maybe want to do a couple of shows that are like that, just for the culture, but we'll see how it goes.
Now, you guys have pretty much done shows everywhere. Is playing in a cave the weirdest place you've played?
No.
Yeah, we did one. We did a cave in, where was it?
About an hour outside of Nashville. Have you ever heard of this concert venue called The Caverns?
Yes, I visited it.
That one was crazy.
They had Malpita there recently, Sarah Landry. It's a phenomenal venue. But that one's awesome.
That one was legitimately legitimately deep inside of a cave. Like you could do a whole cave tour where it takes you to like thousands and thousands of years old of like cave tunnel system. So that one was actually pretty cool.
The weirdest place that we've ever played, somehow, I don't even know if a cave would be number one on that list. I mean, we've been through the ringer on some weird shows. I'm trying to think. Oh, we played on a floating barge once.
Just like in the middle of the water?
Yeah.
That one was pretty interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
the vibe was definitely interesting because the crowd was completely on the other side of the water. But I mean, what are you
Yeah.
gonna
So
do?
they had grandstands by the water, and then they had a barge with just us on it float by everyone and play.
It's so weird.
Yeah. I mean, it was really cool. I was definitely impressed by the logistics that they did to make it happen, because obviously that sounds really confusing, but it worked out. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's been really weird.
Well, we played on a street one time in Corsica. That one was crazy. So they have this club
Yes.
in Corsica
Yeah.
in France, and like literally the DJ booth is so like the club, like you're basically like this. Like if I was to be here and the club is behind me and you're facing out to the street. So the street is where everybody dances. And then on the other side, there's like a little dance and bar area on the other side of the street that goes onto the water. And basically everybody just parties in the street, but then cars will come by, cars will be driving by. So people have to like open up the street and then like continue partying.
Kind of like
It's
when you
pretty
play
cool, but it's
street
weird.
hockey as a kid, and someone goes car and everyone
And
has
everybody
to separate.
Parts the ways.
It's like that, but a club.
That is
weird.
insane.
Pretty cool
Yeah.
place, so I'd go back.
If you could play anywhere at any type of venue logistically, where would you want to play?
I'd want to play at top of the CN Tower in Toronto, but I regretfully say that because now somebody's going to probably try and steal that idea. So we need to be the
Yeah. We have one that actually is feasible that we're working on trying to make happen over the next year, because we know a friend that has a helicopter company, but been really keen about doing a glacier out in British Columbia or an ice cave out there. One of our friends owns a helicopter company, so he's like, you let me know, we can literally shuttle it. We're just trying to figure out how many trips that is to make it happen. Even if it's just us and no crowd, it still might be like 5 trips of stuff due to weight. But we're going to try and make that happen in the next year for sure.
Boy, visually, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I've seen some gorgeous stuff on like YouTube channels like Circle, for example, but I don't know. So you'll have to correct me, but I don't know if I've ever seen anyone doing an ice cave or anything up that high.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that. That would
Yeah, I think I saw an observation post with RG where they were like on one of those observation posts in the mountains in Switzerland, but we'll do it the Canadian way.
CN Tower.
Well, I know Kygo did that tongue. I don't even know what it is, but he
Oh
played
yeah,
like right on the edge.
it was like the top of a fjord, right?
Yeah, sure. Now, speaking of your shows, you guys play a lot of bootlegs at your shows. You recently did a Celine Dion bootleg at a show in Quebec.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever hear from the original artist afterwards? Like, does Celine Dion slide into the DMs after?
Yeah, Joe got that from Celine, actually.
She acknowledged my existence, which was pretty cool.
Wait,
I tagged her, and then
what?
she reposted it. Yeah, it's pretty lit. Never answered my 50 DMs afterwards, but she reposted it, so I was happy about that.
Not that you were inundating her DMs or anything.
No, I was keeping it pretty chill, honestly, but like, I guess maybe she just needed a little bit more. I don't know.
I got to be honest. I think that's the first time I've ever heard an artist say they slid into Celine Dion's DMs.
More people should do it, honestly.
Baby. All day, every day. She's the Queen of Canada.
Even beyond Celine, like a lot of people will respond about like putting them out officially and things like that. And, we're definitely honored and excited about a lot of those conversations. But as you said, with the word bootleg, part of the spirit of it is literally just to be like fast and easy and fun and not overthink it. So, it's not like everything we post we're trying to get released. It's literally just fun stuff that shows you if you come to a show and come see us play, you're going to have a bomb-ass time.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of bomb-ass, let's talk about this bomb-ass song, Crash. It was crazy.
Yes.
It was crazy seeing that Disco Lines helped write it and Brando's back on Loud Luxury Songs. How was this smash born?
We made it during COVID, actually. And yeah, Disco Lines was in the studio. He came in for a studio session one of the days, and he did some of the production with us. And then we worked on it with Brando, and I feel like we we always love coming back to working with him every few songs. So he's super talented, and we love working with him. And we write a lot of stuff together, like even beyond this song. Like we've done so much stuff together. We still have so much upcoming together as well. So it was a really good thing that we got in. We made another one, and we're super happy that it came out.
I'm sorry, you just blew my mind that you guys did this during COVID, like that long ago.
We've been sitting on it.
It's really old. It's really old. I think like probably you're playing with disco lines at Brooklyn Mirage, because I remember he posted a video of the song, and we were like, hey, like don't post anything about the song yet, because like for obvious reasons it made sense because it came out literally like 3 years later. But I think that's just a proof and testament to the fact that your best music doesn't have a timestamp on it. You know, like it was made ages ago and it feels like it was made yesterday. So that's a really important thing that we're chasing more than anything else, is just great songs like that don't have a time limit, don't have an age to them, and still feel amazing.
Well, you mentioned that Disco Lines tested it out. You guys do a lot of testing of your music too. I remember talking to you before. It was either before or after your set at EDC Orlando when you tested music as well. How soon after you start producing a song do you start testing it out?
It's got to be pretty far along. But I mean, like most of the stuff that we're making these days, like sometimes something will come up literally the day of, and we'll make a remix of it. Like that's what we've been doing a lot lately, is just remixing stuff. So everything that we have is pretty much brand new, and like nobody's heard it before. So I mean, in terms of like songs that we're going to actually release, those ones maybe like a little bit later, because those ones we want to obviously work on a little bit more and finish up. But a lot of the stuff that's in our sets, like sometimes it's like literally I'll start it like the day of, and then we'll play it that night. Like we play 2 new ones in Miami, literally made within like 24 hours of the show.
Yeah. We're going to be teasing out way more originals in our sets too. The biggest reason why I think that there's been so many bootlegs and remixes lately is just because we were, while we work on tons of new music to get figured out going forward, just wanting to do something to keep everyone engaged, you know?
Absolutely.
Like, we never really had the game plan of being like, all right, we're mostly just going to do remixes. It's just been a good way to keep everything warm and exciting while we roll out Crash, while we work on tons of new music as well that we're going to play.
And when you finish a song so long ago, what makes you revisit it?
Any really good song like that, you still feel a lot of excitement about. You know, it's not like every time you play it, you're like, yeah, fist pumping, jumping off the table. You know, like, let's be honest, maybe we're doing it wrong, but yes, you don't feel like that all the time. But
certain ones just sit to the top. Like, I mean, that one we were always very excited about, and that was always one that we knew that we wanted to release. So ones like that, they just kind of sit and sort of like a holding pattern, and then when it's time, they come to light.
Yeah, there's sort of just this itch that's like, I'm excited for people to hear that one. And that's how you should know it should come out, no matter how old it is.
Oh, no, absolutely. But what I meant was, like, for me, I forget things so quickly. You know, you guys produce so much music. Do you have to keep track of everything and have management keep track?
I forget the names of songs and what we make every day. I don't even remember what I had for breakfast. So
I forget tons of music we make, but the songs that I really like, I tend to remember, even if they're 5 years old. Like, they still just stick out in your brain for some reason, versus, like, you know, Joe and I can get in the studio and we'll just jam out on something and be like, yeah, whatever, and then literally forget about it the next day.
The names don't mean anything to me. It's more so the actual songs themselves. I'll remember all the songs,
but that's all that matters.
What was the name of that song you made like 2 years ago? I'd be like, brother, I don't know. It's this one.
Yeah. Well, who cares about the name? As long as it slaps, it slaps.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad you guys remembered this one because it is such a feel-good smash. Congratulations on Crash. It is so awesome. And I can't wait to see you guys in Miami and catch up in real life. Andrew,
come this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll be right there.
Perfect.
Sure.
We can't wait to run it back with you. Always great catching up. And we're also, while it's worth talking about, really bummed out that it's just been so hard to get to Tampa with the weather situation. I've never had 2 shows in a row get canceled due to something totally out of our control, because, as you know from our social media, we never cancel shows. So I just feel...
If people want to know, those days that we were traveling to those shows were absolute hell. So we also felt it as well. It's not a great feeling spending like 12 hours in an airport, like trying to get on 4 different flights and figure out if we can get even like bicycles.
I was watching the
good people of Tampa deserve everything, and we really try to make it.
We'll be back. We're going to plan something else to do.
No, sorry, you're not invited back.
Oh my God.
Even after that long-winded apology on air? Come on.
Oh my God. I love you guys so much.
We just poured our heart out to you. This is bullshit.
Loud Luxury. It is so great seeing you guys again. Thank you for your time on America's Dance 30.
You, man.